everyone, welcome back to the Mom's View. We have another really fun guest, Alicia Crowley.
Hi.
And she has a blog and a YouTube channel that is The Crowley Party.
Yep. And she's rocking that baby bun.
Dun, it's in the water.
By the time this goes up though, you will probably have that little baby in your arms.
I know, I could have him any day, which is crazy.
That's so crazy. And it's been fun because we'll text because we're so close. She's April 3rd.
April 3rd. Yep. And what are you?
10th.
10th.
17th.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Both boys.
Boys.
I'm having a girl.
Yeah.
But it's perfect because you already have a little girl.
I know. The pressure's off now. It's like I can have as many as I want now because I've got one of each. So.
Yeah.
And how old's your little girl?
She is 18 and a half months old. So they'll be 19 months apart.
She came to my baby shower down here, and I was watching her chase her little girl around, Ella.
Yep.
And I was like, because that's probably how I'm going to have to do this next one, is have like a toddler and then a baby. And I was like, I don't know if I could. You made it look so easy.
No, I did not. She was such a hot mess.
She was not. She was not. It's just at that age when, like, everything is interesting to them. She was good.
Busy body, for sure.
She wasn't crying or throwing poop at anyone. She was good,
Just cupcakes.
I've seen a boy do that one time.
Lovely.
That's a story for a different time.
She is actually starting to try to take off her diaper now, so I'm like, oh, it's begun.
Oh,
it's the
that's a
beginning of
sign.
the end.
We're potty training right now, and I'm just like, should I be doing this right now?
See, I've been wanting to start with her a little early, but I'm like, probably not good
I
timing.
heard that correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am, but I almost said breastfeed. When you potty train right now and then you have your baby, that they'll go back?
They can
happen.
regression.
Yeah.
When
But
big
not
change.
always.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine going through all that work
No.
and then you have a newborn and they're
That's
like,
the thing. Like for me, I feel like it's crunch time. Like I have like a few weeks, and I can hurry and get Winston like potty trained and ready. And then I'm like, but then what if like?
Yeah.
And I'm
you
like,
might as well change one and one.
Yeah.
And
Like right now, I just don't have the time to potty train. That's kind of the thing that's keeping me.
It is. It
I'm like,
takes
it's
a
almost
lot.
easier just to change your diaper. I don't really mind changing diapers, honestly.
yeah.
I don't really care.
like whatever, it's easier.
than
Yeah.
potty
You can be out.
I always forget when I like babysit and I'll have like a toddler. So I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, we're in the middle of a store.
Just go in your pants. No.
Pee your pants.
So tell us a little bit about your blog and your YouTube channel.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I've been blogging and just posting on social media for years now. I'm kind of like the typical, just share about my life and motherhood and fashion, beauty, whatever kind of interests me. But it's, what most people do. I think it's really fun to just that shared human experience. I think that's why people like to share so much online. And social media is pretty awesome. Like I wouldn't have known you guys without social media. So
I remember the
that's what
first
I
time
do.
we met, I was like, you should do YouTube. You'd be so great. And
Yeah.
now she's killing it on the YouTube game.
I remember that night. That was fun. I made it into one of your videos.
I love you.
But yeah, no, I'd had a YouTube channel, but never really used it as much as now. But I find video such a, I don't know, more fun way for mothers to connect and watch and learn about tons of different things. Like I remember when I got pregnant with Ella, I was just like, all these videos on breastfeeding and birth, and like, I just love
It's so nice to sit down and just watch it. Like,
Yeah.
vlogs are fun and I like reading them, but it's just something about a video. Maybe
Well,
it's my
yeah.
ADD that
No.
I like what, yeah.
Yeah, I started blogging first, and then I did a video, and everyone was like, oh, you're, like, funny. You're whatever. And I realized that, like, your personality can come across so much better on video, and, like, a joke comes off better.
Yeah.
Like, people aren't as offended if they see how you say something. But, no, I love that.
Yeah.
What's the word? Format.
more-
that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
We get ya. We get ya.
I loved blogs. I read blogs and then started YouTube like right after that. And so I've always wanted a blog because I really love blogs. But
It's fun for pictures.
It is
like,
fun.
But
And I just feel like to sit down and like write a note to someone or to write down your feelings is sometimes easier because sometimes I notice when I'm filming, I forget to say a lot of things.
oh yeah,
And where in a blog you can like remember everything.
organize your thoughts and really write something that is a little more meaningful, and it's fun to
That's so fun you have
have
both.
it. Yeah, I mean, it's like a journal that I can print off for the last 8 years, 9 years, however long it's been going on. Yeah, I've slowed down a little bit. I need to be better. I feel bad I haven't documented as much about this pregnancy as the first, but I guess that's like
have it
second
on your
child
videos.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing good on your YouTube,
Yeah,
though,
so he'll get video, she'll get pictures and words, so it's all good.
It's a balance,
We got something.
So we wanted to talk a little bit about your last pregnancy and this pregnancy. You haven't used any medications,
Oh, you're
or like is that,
just
is
blows
that how
my
you say it?
mind.
Like all natural.
Pain-free, yeah.
Well, it's so funny. I stopped, like, when I started looking into all of this stuff, I kind of stopped using the word natural because I think it can make women feel like their birth isn't natural when well, a woman giving birth is natural, so I like saying unmedicated because it's like really descriptive.
Nice.
It's just, that's what it is. It's a birth that's not been started with anything or doesn't have any medication or interventions put into it. But yeah, my mom had all 6 of us kids, of my siblings, naturally unmedicated, and so I was kind of raised with this, like, that wasn't weird.
Yeah, like
whereas,
that was normal.
and I think what bothers me is just like culture has put such a fear into birth, and I mean it's already. I mean, admittedly, it's a scary thing, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you've never done it before. It's a very intense experience. But I feel like media and culture has just taken it and like made it this thing that women are so afraid of, and so they just they don't even question anything. They don't look into any other way. They just do what their doctor says, or which I mean, obviously doctors are really important. I'm not like against doctors. But I think it's so important for women to be educated on what's happening to their body, because you will be so less fearful no matter what you're doing. If you're going to have an epidural or not, a C-section, at the end of the day, you usually don't get a choice anyway. So I just think it's important to be as educated as possible on it, and you're going to be a lot less afraid when you're doing it.
And open-minded to other things.
Exactly.
When I was pregnant with my little girl, I was around a lot of women. I was going to beauty school, and then I had a lot of cousins that had babies. And I had one girl that I talked to that had a natural birth and loved it. She took classes. She talked about, like, breathing through the pain. And it made it seem like a great option. And I also talked to someone who had a C-section.
Oh, and loved it.
And loved it. Like, had a great recovery. So I felt like when I went in to have Braylee, that I felt comfortable with, like, whatever had to happen. I ended up being in labor and not being able to get an epidural, and I did not take classes to breathe through the pain, and it was terrible.
The classes don't always help, I'll tell you that. You just gotta.
I was not breathing through the pain. I was passing out.
You're breathing, but just a little too much.
Oh, yeah. So I wasn't prepared for that, but I did end up with a C-section, and I was grateful to talk to someone who had a good recovery.
No, I just think it's important to know what is going to happen at each outcome, and then when it happens, you're not nearly as, like, freaked out, because you're going to be freaked out enough as it is. But
they also, like, talk about so much about your birth plan, and women get so freaked out when it doesn't go accordingly. Like, I haven't packed the pink slipper that they told me to bring at 3 o'clock or whatever. Like,
we were just talking about that, how, like, I had requested to have a mirror because I wanted to watch it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that didn't happen because my baby was coming so fast. And in retrospect, I wouldn't have even wanted the mirror. I think it would have, like, thrown me off watching it, and my eyes were closed anyway because I'm pushing and I'm, like, super concentrated on getting this baby out. So I think you just have to be flexible, but know what your options are and why you're doing something.
Yeah, and I also love what you said about, like, I do think we have our own intuition, and it's okay to talk to your doctor with that. You know, like, I just feel
100%.
like this in my heart. Because I remember with Cooper, I was in labor for 2 days. And at the end, he's like, we're just going to take her for a C-section. And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't feel like that's right. I'm like, I've been pushing for this long. I feel like I'm close. Like, just let me keep pushing. He was like, okay, you have 45 minutes. And if you can't push him in 45, then we're going to take a C-section. I had him out in 17 after that. I was like, don't you challenge me.
I was the opposite. At the end of my labor with Braylee, I was like, I can't move, so you're going to have to get this baby out.
Whatever happens.
And I was just like, fine, take me out.
At any point, like, if he has to come out my ear hole, I don't care. You know, like, when you're in so much pain, you're like, fine, just do what you got to do.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die.
So do you have any advice for anyone that wants to have an
unmedicated birth? Well, like I said, just be educated. I did take a class, and while I thought that was helpful, I don't think it's necessary, actually. I feel like there's so much information available online that you guys, like, that is available to everyone. I really love reading other birth stories. I think that's really encouraging. You kind of get to see all the different experiences. But yeah, just number one thing you can do is just know what's happening to your body through the different stages of labor. And when you know that, you won't be afraid when certain things happen. Like when transition hit me, if I hadn't known what that was, I would have freaked out.
I need a
transition.
I'm like, wait.
See, you don't even know. Transition is it's usually when you're like right at the finish line. That's when you're gonna push and your baby's coming out. Like you're
done
like
laboring,
you're like
basically.
20 minutes out once you've hit transition. But it like this whole feeling comes over your body, and I can't even describe it. It is like out of this world. Like, and it could be, I mean, it freaks you out. Like, it's really intense.
Don't get to experience it because I had an epidural.
If you had an epidural, you won't feel that
transition?
No, because that's like right when you're about to push. So unless you got your epidural real late, yeah, it's intense. So something like that, it would have really shocked me if I didn't know what that was, and I probably would have like flipped out.
Yeah.
What is this?
So yeah, just being knowledgeable, and the number one thing is try to stay relaxed, which I know sounds crazy, but it's the best thing you can do is try to relax. So whatever relaxation techniques work for you, try that. Like I remember in all my classes, they were like, massage, all this stuff, my poor husband, because I'm like, I'm in labor and he's trying to massage me. I'm like, don't touch me, get off me. Like I didn't want anyone touching me. So you don't know what you want until you're in labor, and I'm sure every labor is different. So just kind of know the things that work for you. Like I bathed, well, I didn't bathe, but I was laboring in a tub with jets.
Yes. I think that would be amazing.
And it was awesome, and I swear it's the only thing that made it happen. Like, it was amazing.
I always told Jackson, like,
whenever you're sick or you have body aches or you feel cold or chilly, like, a warm bath is always soothing. So
And you love baths, so...
Yeah, I know. I'm, like, kind of like, can we throw a Lush bath bomb in there? I'll just deliver right there. But Jackson's, like, freaked out. He thinks that, like, that's, like, the hippie method. He's like, I want all the doctors. I want all the machines there.
But you can do both. You can
that's what I told him. Like, we can have that. And he's like, well, the baby will suck in that water when he's born. I'm like,
I used to think that too. I used to think that too, but yeah, you learn. You read and you learn that no, they're not gonna breathe.
You should do a water birth. I
know,
wanted
but here's the thing. I want an epidural and the water birth.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you do both?
Oh, you probably can't walk into the water.
Because you're
they can lift me.
You can't walk in.
Like, you can't get in and out of there.
Maybe if we put floaties on you, you can float.
You know those baby neck tubes where my neck's just floating above the water? Like, what's going on below me, guys? Is the baby out yet?
Oh, but yeah, I've talked a lot about this on my blog before. It can be a hot topic for people, but I kind of advocate just knowing what your options are and like considering it, because there are a lot of pros and cons, and there's a lot of pros to having an unmedicated birth. So I don't know, just don't knock it till you read about it.
When you said that word transition, I was like, that's amazing. I had no idea. I'd never
I find it so fascinating. In another life, and maybe when I'm older, I would love to be a doula. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah.
But
so you had Ella in a bath.
I didn't have her in the bath, so I labored in the tub, and then I got out. I really wanted to, but my husband was really like, he gets so grossed out, and I think there's no way he would have been in with me. Like, you see those videos with, like, the blood.
Did you want him in there, maybe?
Well, I would have totally considered a water birth, especially now after experiencing how comforting that was for me. But for my first, at least, I really didn't want my husband to feel like he couldn't be a part of it, and I think he would have been too grossed out.
That's exactly how my husband is. He's like, I'm not getting in there.
No, so
just get him some waiters, you know.
And I know it's not like it should mostly be about you because you're the one giving birth. But I was totally comfortable getting out. I actually got out of the tub, transitioned. They checked me. I was like a 10, and then I pushed, and she was out.
That's
so
great.
Amazing.
Yeah, it all worked out. I had her really fast. She was like 5 hours. So really lucky.
And you went over a little bit with her?
A full week, yeah.
Oh, a little bit. That seems like decades when you're 40 weeks.
Yeah, it's a long time.
I saw you when you were like, dude, we're
there was an event
together.
I shouldn't have been out in public.
What are
it was so bad.
You're like, yeah, I'm like 2 days past my due date.
Yep. Like, I'm just trying to get her out.
She had like
walk
this
around.
beautiful maxi dress on. Her hair and makeup was done. I was like,
it
what
was
are you
not
doing?
beautiful, but thanks.
You were.
You just don't always feel beautiful when you're that far.
Yeah.
Like right now, like 38 weeks.
Yeah, everything is hurting. Everything is heavy. You feel all this pressure, and you just feel like,
And you're like hot. And
hot flashes and sweating, and then you get the creases.
Beauty. I swear nature does it that way so that you are like ready to like have the mentality to make it happen.
Like, get this baby out, whatever you have to do.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
that's amazing. It makes me consider so many different things now. Like, we had a girl on earlier about Sadie. She got her placenta encapsulated, and I've been wanting to do that, and everyone has been like a little bit shied away from it.
Yeah, I totally thought about doing it, but then I found out how much it cost, and I was like, nah, I don't care that much about it.
Freaks my son out. He asks me almost every day, "Are you still gonna do that thing where you're eating your?"
I'm like,
lots of animals eat their placenta after they give birth, but
I know maybe I should find like some awesome documentary make Cooper and Jackson.
Here's what I say: it couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Even if it's the placebo effect, like that's powerful stuff. So I would totally do it, but I just didn't want to pay for it the first time around.
Maybe I should become an encapsulation specialist.
Yeah, like why can't I just take that home and do it myself? No, I'm just kidding.
I couldn't even do it if I wanted to. They dropped my first placenta on the floor. It was like a war scene.
I'm actually mad. I didn't even get to see my placenta. I was kind of sad about that.
They had like a doctor on round.
You're like, why would you want to watch it? Some people are weird. They want to.
Can you put that on my Instagram story? I want that on my Instagram.
You know, it's so funny. When I had Braylee, and my husband is so grossed out. Like, he hates hospitals. Things just gross him out. He feels uncomfortable. And I had her, and they were taking care of her. And my doctor said to Casey to look at my placenta, and he looked over there, and I could just tell he was like, whoa.
Which is so funny. Her husband's a huge hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different, like, human, like your wife.
When it's your own kind.
Yeah. When I was a little girl, I got cut and I was bleeding, and Casey couldn't even go to the hospital with us because she's married to my brother. And so he, like, that even freaked him out. And I remember, like, way back then, he wasn't okay with hospitals.
My husband's squeamish, so I was always concerned about giving birth, but he was a champ.
What a good one.
They step up. When
in that moment, and it's yours, so it's different. But
that's awesome.
Well, I'm proud of you. I don't know. I say there's no way, but
you know, that's the other thing that really bothers me is, like, because of how I was talking about, like, culture has, like, dramatized it or fantasized it. It's made it this thing that people are like, oh, I could never do that. And it's like, stop making me seem like a superhero or anyone else who does it. Like, you're not. In fact, before, like, how many years ago, everyone did it this way. You would be able to handle it. It's not a foreign pain, honestly. It would not come as a big surprise to you. And I think it's just the way Hollywood has put it into movies and stuff. And it just
like,
seems...
It's like a funny joke on, like, take the drug. Like, and I've even been like, oh, yeah, I took the drugs. Like,
well, and hey, like, I think there's a time and a place for an epidural and all that kind of stuff. And you just need to know what you want and what's happening. But, yeah, I just wish people would kind of, like, not... and, like, make it seem like it's some big dramatic, like, oh my gosh, wow, I can't believe you did that.
Like,
it's
if
you could do it too. You really could.
And fireworks come with it.
I think also, like, with the internet and being able to find so much helpful information, you can find a lot of, like, horror stories, which freaks people out.
Well, and there's always going to be a good and bad experience, right, with anything. And I think a huge part of that is just, like I said, if I went in thinking, okay, I'm going to get an epidural, it's going to be pain-free, and then for some reason that didn't happen, you'd be flipping out. You'd be so scared, which goes against what your body's supposed to be doing, which is relaxing, which is going to tighten up everything, which means, it's going to be a lot harder. And anyway, so.
What about going into it wanting a natural birth? I just saw someone shared their birth story, and they went into it wanting all natural. They didn't want anything, and ended up being in labor, had to be put on Pitocin, and got an epidural because the pain was just unbearable for too long. What do you do you think that you would be okay with that?
Oh, yeah. See, I think there's some people, it's so funny. If you kind of mention that you've had one of these, people just assume you're, like, so far on the other side. Like, you're some granola and you're judging other mothers. And it's like, no, it's really not a judgment at all. Like, there's a time and place where I would definitely get an epidural. Like, if I was in labor for 2 days and you get to the point where you're so exhausted, like, what am I doing? Totally a great time to get something like that so you can rest and relax and recharge and actually be able to push your baby out. I think women just need to know what their options are and not, like, punish themselves for something not happening the way they want it to, which is why I say just be flexible, because you never know what's going to happen. And your baby gets here, that's all that matters. Like,
and like you said, like, every woman should be proud of what they did. Like, no matter how you get your baby here. I know a lot of women have, like, a lot of guilt when they have C-sections. I'm like, what? I'm like,
and I look at women who have had C-sections. I'm like, that's so scary. To me, that's scarier. To me, it would be so much scarier to be like, we're gonna cut your stomach open and rip a baby up
and move your guts around.
That is like,
hey guys,
I'm so afraid of that.
You're fine. You're gonna be just fine.
Oh, sorry. You've done it though.
You know, in a couple weeks.
I know. I'm getting anxious thinking about it again, but anyway.
It'll be fun to follow along on her Instagram and YouTube because you'll be like, her baby, my baby, Kaylee's baby.
I know now with, like, I mean, I was not on Snapchat when I had Ella, so this time I should be like, should I live birth it? No, I'm just kidding, but it would be funny to watch.
Use the puppy filter as the baby comes out. So funny. The doctor hands you the baby, you're Snapchatting, and the baby's like...
The placenta, he holds it up. We can put, like, a little face on it. Like, lovely.
Oh my gosh.
Lovely.
So gross, but so great.
So lovely. Lisa, it's all natural. These are things.
Well, it's so fun having you here. You'll have to come back. It would be so fun to do another episode when we all have our babies.
Yeah, and we can talk about our births.
Yes,
like, what happened.
That's a really good idea to share each of our experiences because I think that
I love birth stories, and I think women should share them because you just learn so much, and it's like
and makes you feel more normal. Like, okay, this is fine.
And you're not alone, and it's not some weird, scary thing, and I love it.
Just relating to someone feels good.
And I always cry when I read birth stories.
You too.
Can't help it.
So So be sure to follow along with Alicia as she has her baby in the next couple of weeks. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Champion. This is me.